Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of the DaVon Lewis Show. As I'm covering AEW Dynamite, which was on all cylinders, and you really had a phenomenal show tonight. It was decent for what it was, and I truly enjoyed all the action that pretty much took place tonight for AEW Dynamite. The show card started off with Will Ospreay and Ray Fenix, as well as we ended up having Dustin Rose taking on Jack Perry for qualifying for the ladder match for the TNT Championship. We also have women's action as the AEW TBS champion. Mercedes Monet took on Zeus from CMLL, as well as we got Roosh in action, getting ready to gear up things as he's getting ready to go toe to toe against no other than MJF in the near future. We also had Kyle Fletcher, Roger Strong, and Konosuke Takeshita in trios action taking on Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mark Briscoe. And so much more had went on tonight for AEW Dynamite. It was great with everything initially was the build up for Forbidden Door. But I know just in general, everything's gonna be looking phenomenal. It's gonna be like a chef's kiss when it comes to pay-per-views provided by AEW as well as New Japan Pro Wrestling. But we know when it comes to AEW, they deliver bangers when it comes to pay-per-views. But for the actual weekly shows, they kind of been lackluster. But as late, they're kind of getting back on track as Tony Khan continues to fill in the card up and continue to do what he initially knows how to do, is just make fantasy booking more than storylines at the moment. But the biggest storyline is between Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland as they continue to build up their initially chemistry, as they initially have had past history when it came to independent scene, but now they're initially going to have their initial feud and continue to battle when it comes to AEW Dynamite. But I look forward to seeing that initial match. I know that match is going to be a banger after banger. You know, I had to steal off a little bit from Sheamus line. But more than anything else, let's go ahead and get into tonight's shows. Tonight's show start off with Swerve Strickland coming out with his initial decent promo. He was along with Prince Nana. They came out hyping up the Forbidden Door match against Will Ospreay, but eventually was interrupted by the Elite when it came to everything initially had transpired. Both teams initially traded spots, and then a brawl initially broke out before the Claim came out to save Swerve. And then, of course, Christopher Daniels, being somewhat of another EVP or general manager, ordered everyone out the ring except for Perry, as he was initially getting ready for his match against Northern Dustin Rhodes. The natural Dustin Rhodes came out swinging. Things came out with both of them going back and forth. I really enjoyed everything about this match. But initially, Dusty Rhodes was bleeding like a guinea pig when it came to everything on his show tonight. He initially left everything on the table, but initially he ended up falling short when it came to the scapegoat, as the scapegoat was able to pick up the victory with a nice, lovely knee to initially pick up the victory. But you know, it was a nice showcase when it came to them going back and forth and laying everything out for that spot of being part of the ladder match for AEW Dynamite. But also, when it comes to Jack Perry, he's doing his thing, and I really enjoy everything that he initially has been continue to display with himself. And more than anything else, I feel like he's gonna be that TNT champion when it comes to the near future. And initially, all the members of the Elite are gonna have to go by sometime after July, June. At the end of June, I feel like they're all gonna have it leading up to All In. But we shall see how things initially transpire as we continue to get pushed in the right direction with the storyline with Elite versus Team AEW. As well as Dusty Rhodes, rumors have been going around in the wrestling community that Dusty Rhodes is slowly making his departure from AEW and looking to most likely head back to WWE. But we shall stay tuned when it comes to that situation. But Justin Rhodes is a hidden gem. He is a diamond in the rough as he continues to do great work when it comes to his legacy. And I always look forward to seeing Dustin Rhodes in the ring when he continue to perform and continue to entertain the crowd each and every single week. Then we get ready for the initial next thing on the card. We end up having 6-man tag being hyped up for the rest of the night. But of course, we ended up having Roos in the match. He was taking on initial local talent, but this was a crash burner squash match. It was straightforward, but you knew you was to get your money's worth when it came to Roosh. Roosh was straightforward, and of course MJF can't involve as well after Roosh had picked up the victory over the local talent. And initially, they came out initially, got into a brawl. Then they had to be breaking up by security, but they kept fighting, and things was decent when it came to everything that initially happened with that initial feud. But I look forward to seeing MJF continue to be that workhorse of the AEW Dynamite and being now one of the official pillars. He's over as ever. And I'm highly excited to see where MJF stands on his own toes when it comes to how everything continue to be pushed. But right now, does he need to be in the AEW World Championship right now? So no, he doesn't need the championship. The championship needs him. But right now, at the moment, he's his own made man and he's over like hotcakes. But when it comes to Roos, he's standing on his own, and I'm enjoying everything when it comes to Roos now, picking up that W as he's leading up towards Forbidden Door or sometime soon when he faces off with MJF. But you know, those boys are going to initially give us a great match when it comes to everything. That's going to be strong style, hard hitting, and then of course, you know, MJF is going to be doing his thing as usual. He's all about being more serious and more poignant and straightforward when it comes to everything he's doing as being a lone wolf, kind of similar, kind of taking the take out of Baron Corbin. But this isn't WWE. This is more so AEW's own version of their own lone wolf. And you know, MJF is going to be doing his thing each and every single week, including being a great mouthpiece, as well as a great seeing his lovely girlfriend, soon to be fiance, Alicia too. She's now officially part of AEW, and I'm enjoying everything she has been doing as she's initially now to give Renee Paquette a little bit of a break as she's able to step in and help out when it comes to the interviews and being involved. But I'm enjoying everything that she's pushing toward herself, and I also like to start seeing her elevating her podcast, being more involved when it comes to doing interviews and stuff like that with her own show as well. But things continue to feel incomplete when it came to everything initially happened when it came to their feud. But we shall see how things initially transpire when it comes to everything initially continue to happen in the next upcoming weeks leading up to the Forbidden Door. Then we got ready for the next match of the night. It was 6 man tag team as we end up having Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and as well as Orange Cassidy taking on Roderick Strong, as well as Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita, which is basically was a barrack burner, strong style as you possibly can get. I enjoyed everything about this match. You knew you was get your money's worth when it came to this trios action, and all 60s men know how to go when it necessarily need to be straightforward when it comes to everything initially being pushed. But initially, the ending ended up happening when it came to things, and she broke down as Fletcher got the win over Mark Briscoe as the fight continued. And then, of course, we ended up having Willow Nightingale's music come down, and she saw Chris Statler, and they got into a beat down on the stage. And things initially continued to break out with the fight as things continue to be pushed on from there. But initially, is it was kind of like a mixed match when it came to everybody having their own set of foods. But as well, I'm trying to figure out what's going on when it comes to Roger Strong and Undisputed Kingdom. I feel like they're a lost cause when it comes to everything initially have been going on with AEW, but they need to get back on track of steamrolling and getting things underway when it comes to their initial fashion. As Adam Cole was looking like a straight bitch when it came to everything initially happened, as well as figuring out what's going on with the Don Callis family, as they feel like they're just floating around as well, but they need to get back into being a strong unit and being able to be on display weekly when it comes to AEW Dynamite or even on Collision. But as well, Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, their feud continues to be red hot, and I'm enjoying everything that those ladies continue to be bringing onto the table of everything that's happening. But you know you get your money's worth when it comes to them. They pretty much know how to go. They already fought before when they were teammates as being a singles competition. But this time it's more bad blood as friends turn on each other, and we shall see how things initially turn out when it comes to everything that's being displayed. Then we get ready for the premier athlete, of course, versus Samoa Joe. And this match was pretty decent. It was a burner, but of course, their new alliance when it comes to Samoa Joe Hook pretty much was put to the test as they pretty much took on Tony Nese and Arya Davari. The premier athletes were okay for what it was when it came to the tag team action, but Samoa Joe and Hook was just on the right page. They were doing their thing, and this was okay, but it could have been better. But I feel like it was just it was missing something, some kind of piece when it came to everything that was going on. Of course, the funniest thing was when Shibata choked out Mr. Mark Sterling, but most importantly, we ended up having a good measure. But this match was decent, but it wasn't a squash match, but it was decent for what it was when Hook picked up the victory from there. Um, then we got ready for the big match of the night, which was Mercedes Monet. She took on CML newest comer when it comes to the block of Zeus. She did her thing tonight. It was a lot of back and forth between these ladies. These ladies left nothing unturned. It was a non-title belt, but I enjoyed everything that pretty much went on when it came to them going back and forth, chain wrestling, everything that initially happening with this women's competition. It was decent for what it was. And then we also had Stephanie Valkyria. She was at ringside and making sure it seems in we're cheating, but pretty much she just kind of just chilled, kind of did everything. And initially, Mercedes picked up the victory, and it was a solid performance just in general. Mercedes continued to steamroll through everybody as she continues to be her build up towards AEW's Forbidden Door, which we know that Mercedes pretty much is looking to be the face of the women's division right now. But we have so many hot take wrestlers making their initial return, as I'm waiting for Jamie Hayter to return. Same with Britt Baker. But I know those ladies are pretty much might be going to feud with Mercedes, as we would love to see Julia Hart, but Julia Hart's currently injured right now, so she's currently on the shelf. As we have so many women, great women that could be in the limelight in the face of everything, but things initially just feeling flat right now for the TBS side of thing. But the AEW Women's Championship, Tony Storm continued to be impressive and doing her great deeds when it comes to weekly television. But in overall, she's getting ready for her bout when it comes to everything, as Mariah May is in the middle of everything that's going on with that outstanding feud, as we ended up having Tony Storm pushing her limits and basically continue to be charismatic. And I look forward to seeing how things initially continue to be pushed from there. Then we got ready for Chris Jericho came out for his TV time. Initially, things were chill for the was with Daniel Garcia, and pretty much Garcia was involved and that, and they had that little initial talk and an interview and all that. Everything initially broke down, but it was okay for what it was. And then of course things broke down for the next following match of the night. It was Daniel Garcia versus Nick Camarado in a fast match, but Daniel Garcia got the victory very quickly by beating the powerhouse, taking advantage of things, and I enjoyed everything that was initially noted when it came to that initial match. But as well as Chris Jericho, he's kind of feeling lackluster. He's continued to reinvigorate himself as he continues to be the limelight of everything that continued to happen, being a learning tree, whatever other persona he has come up with, Y2J, or even just being whatever he comes up with, he's coming off at the top of his dome and he's continued to be relevant each and every single time. I know some people are getting tired of Jericho, but I feel like Jericho's still one of those still important leaders that's needed when it comes to the AEW division. But you knew you would get your money's worth when it came to Chris Jericho. Then we got ready for the main event of the night. The main event really was what hit the right spot. It was for the AEW not the championship, but the AEW International Championship, in which we ended up having Will Ospreay taking on Ray Phoenix. I feel like these boys put on a great stellar match. You got everything you got for. I really enjoyed everything that was under the sun of this, and you knew they did a lot of back and forth, chain wrestling, high spots. But the notable spot was when Will Ospreay did something that we never thought he'd actually do. He ended up taunting Swerve, who was over there on the crowd side of things, watching and keeping a close eye on everything that was happening. He ended up hitting that lovely Swerve stump, and then pretty much hitting the hidden blade. And then afterwards, picking up that 1, 2, 3, looking directly at Swerve. Then afterwards, they had a nice confrontation. As Swerve and them got into it, and things initially, you just felt the tensions as everything continued to be in the right direction with everything and continue to be pushed when it comes to them each and every single week. And more than anything, I'm enjoying what Ray Phoenix did in the match. He sold like he never sold before, and I enjoyed every minute when it comes to Ray Phoenix. I give props to him, and he needs to get another run at one of the championships, either the TNT championship or either be in that ladder match when it comes to TNT championship. But Ray Fenix did his thing, and I give high props to him. But you can't take away from Will Ospreay. You continue to be a hidden gem as well, and he's steamrolling through everybody right now. But I don't see him coming on with the victory when it comes to Forbidden Door against Swerve. Swerve is just too dominant right now. He's red hot. He's beating everybody left and right, and he continued to steamroll past everybody. And Swerve pretty much is gonna have a hard task when it comes to Will Ospreay, but I know those boys are gonna go when it comes to that main event. But more than anything else, I'd like to know from you guys how you feel about this initial show. Were you guys invested? Were you bored? Well, I'd like to know what you guys rated about the show. Let's talk professional wrestling in the comments, and I'll get ahead and conversate back and forth with you guys, and we'll go from there. But the most important part, post your comments down below, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.